Stan James for the betters.
Royal Ascot Nap and Dark Horse, please, Richard. So what's the Nap and what's the one which could be sticking under the radar?
Anything, as good as a Nap, but I think our best chance of winning is probably Maymas in the Coventry. And if I was looking for a dark horse, maybe 2p in the Wokingham, or I quite like Tomerley in the Windsor Castle. He's got the look of quite a smart horse. The time form rating is pretty high, and he's quite tough, and he's had a nice break since his last run, so hopefully he'll go up.
Would Jemima, who's sitting behind doing a good job making the tee, was she got at 5 to 4, do you think?
I don't think so, but she's not the best punter in the world. So.
She took a gamble with you, though.
Well, yeah, big time. Next question. 5 to 4, 2 winners. We'd be delighted with 2 winners. Last year we had 2 winners. The year before we started the first race, the meeting with Tornado, and we had 2 winners that year. So I'd love to think we could keep it going by having 2 winners. They're very important. Royal Ascot are probably the most important wins you have all year.
And now I suppose the international representation as well, that makes it even harder.
Yeah, it's very hard. And then even coming over the 2-year-old races now, which is very difficult. Probably Postponed. He looks a really good horse to me. I think the filly Mining's obviously a very good filly. I'm not going to say jet setting, should I? Probably should. I think the Japanese horse looks a very good horse. I mean, there's a lot of horses around at this time of year, and they've all got to go and make their mark and become champions. But I think Postponed looks a very, very sound, very manoeuvrable horse over sort of 1.25 miles, maybe further, up to 1.6 miles. I don't know, but he looks a very good horse to me.
Yeah, he does indeed. Postponed, really impressive, wasn't he, in the Coronation Cup?
We've got a very nice horse called Barney Roy by Celebration, and a very nice horse that belongs to Sheikh Hamdan. I don't think he's named yet, but he's by Helmet, and we think he's a pretty nice 2-year-old. We've got a lot of sort of 7 furlong 2-year-olds this year, and not so many of the early sort of Ascot horses, which is by design a little bit, but a lot of nice 2-year-olds to look forward to at the July meeting and thereon after.
What is it you see in these 2-year-olds? When do they start to show you something you think, okay, this is going to be a more precocious juvenile, and this one is when we're going to say for perhaps the
you see it
July
quite
Stakes
early.
and so forth.
When you start working them, if they look like they're doing it easy, they're ready to go a little bit quicker, and then a little bit quicker if they pass the next test. And if they're not coping with it, then you just chop them back a little bit and be a bit kinder to them. And a lot of these horses now, though, they look like they want a trip, so they're doing their best work at the end of the gallop, which can be quite hard to gauge. And sometimes your best horses are horses that do get a trip and don't show you their best at home.
Okay, interesting.
Massively up every day with me, helps out with the owners, racing now and again. I think he'll go the first day to Royal Ascot. Loves going to Goodwood, Salisbury, Newbury, and massive cog in the wheel. And there for me to sort of bounce things off, I'm very lucky.
So would he still go down to the gallops and tell the lads what to do?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We have a sort of thing in the car park. We take a lot of champagne every day, and people come before racing, and then after racing they go back to the car, and it can go on quite a while. We normally leave about 7 o'clock and leave them to it. If we have a winner, however, a big winner, well, any winner at Ascot's a big winner, then we stay there a little while. But what we do is we send them up in a group of 10 or 12, and they just bounce off each other. It's the ones that are able to look like they're doing it very easily, not just once, 2 or 3 times, and they look like they could go a bit quicker. And then you sort of select those ones out, and then you send those down, and you see what's what. It's not that, and the guys on top will also tell you. But some of the best ones we've ever had don't do that. They sort of, when you really ask them to go in a racing situation, that's when they go. Sometimes that's a sign of a very good horse. Harbour Watch was like that. He didn't do a whole lot at home. He was unimpressive, and every time he went to the races, he was gone.
How frustrating was it that he couldn't run as a 3-year-old? For you?
Yeah.
How good do you think he could have
We
been?
just had him ready for the Dewhurst, which I think he was favourite for. But you know, he had a lot of scope to make a 3-year-old. That was what was so disappointing. You know, he didn't know us anything at the end of the day.
For the betters.